These are the 5 downtown areas where you can live and work and play and drink and eat and do whatever you want. I'm gonna explain in this video the 5 areas you can live. Let's dive right in. Downtown San Antonio is most known for the Riverwalk. It's the oldest part of downtown that has been a tourist destination for over a century. This downtown area doesn't have a lot of areas to live and buy if you're on the Riverwalk proper. There's a lot of condominiums and apartments for rent and tourism type hotels, but actual places to live where you can buy and maybe rent it out, invest, it's becoming less and less. Now, living in the Riverwalk area is going to be kind of difficult because transit system isn't the best. There's a lot of close traffic. There's a good amount of homeless population. There's barricades and closed streets, construction everywhere. Now, those are the downsides. The pros is you get on the Riverwalk. You can have the beautiful view in the holidays. The lights are really pretty. The boat that goes through the Riverwalk is really nice. The Riverwalk food isn't the best. I'm sorry. It's either kind of your run-of-the-mill Mexican food or your chains like Bubblegum Shrimp and Dick's Lake Resort. You have a couple of seafood places, but they're all chains, and honestly, I'm not too impressed with the Riverwalk food. Outside of the Riverwalk, there's a lot of great restaurants outside of the Riverwalk. I wanted to show you some of these properties where you can live in the downtown area. So when I click this downtown area, you look at, this is the Riverwalk right here. As I follow it up, it goes from the Riverwalk area and it goes all the way up to the Pearl District or Government Hill, which we'll talk about. And if you go south, it goes to Southtown, which is where the Riverwalk starts. So this is the main touristy area, which is Houston, Commerce, all that. But let's go into some of the properties. So if you're looking to buy in the downtown, where it's the Riverwalk area, you have 1,000 square feet for $550. You have rents for $4,000 a month. You have $600,000 property there. You have $1 million for 7,000 square feet. And you have 1.2 for 6,000 square feet also. And if you go a little bit north, you know, the property values are higher. The second area of downtown that I'm going to talk about is Dignowity Hill. Some people call it Dignowity Hill, some people call it Dignowity, whatever you want to call it. It is the second area that we're going to talk about. It's just east of the Riverwalk. So the major landmark in Dignowity Hill is the Alamo Dome. The Alamo Dome is where they hold concerts, venues, different football games, and it's a large area. That area of San Antonio was very, very different 10 years ago. They were selling houses $20,000, $30,000 for these houses, but now because of these businesses that has expanded outside of the Riverwalk, became up and coming Dignowity Hill. So there is a lot more affordable. If you want to live close to downtown, there's some great restaurants. You have little sections in there. On Commerce in Houston, you have Sunset Plaza, which used to be a running train station, and it's a really nice place where you're not so into the touristy construction, congested people on the street kind of place. It's just outside of it, and there is neighborhoods there. There is no HOAs, which is really good, and the restaurants are walking distance. From Dignowity Hill is a walking distance to River Center Mall, which connects to the Riverwalk, and it has a theater, a bunch of great restaurants. Really is a cool place. Definitely better food, in my opinion, than the Riverwalk. The third area of downtown that I'm going to talk about is the Pearl. Some people call it the Pearl area, some people call it Government Hill, Broadway area, and it's basically very close to being the center of the entire city. The Pearl area has 3 major arteries, and it basically connects right at this Pearl area. It's 281, 37, and IH 35. Those 3 highways intersect in this location. At the Pearl, you have a lot of shopping. It's connected to the northern side of the Riverwalk, and it's easy access. The restaurants are very, very good. A little pricey, but it's still very good. You have the common area of the Pearl where you can sit down, bring your own lunch, bring your own beer, and enjoy the atmosphere. Very family friendly. There's so many different things to do and shops in the Pearl. But let's talk about the living in the Pearl. Living in the Pearl is very, very desired. That's probably one of the best and most upcoming neighborhoods in all of San Antonio because of the commercial buildings around it. You have a lot of offices popping up, great restaurants, and it keeps expanding and expanding as the city grows. So Broadway used to be a street where people have car dealerships, but not anymore. Broadway also goes straight into a town called Alamo Heights. That's not part of the downtown district, but it's very close to downtown and is definitely worth looking into. So the Pearl also encompasses Government Hill, which is just east of the Pearl. And Government Hill is also used to be very run down, but very historical houses. You have these Victorian style houses that are being completely renovated, and they're making offices and shops around this neighborhood. Really, the only con I could think of about living at the Pearl is the taxes. The taxes are around 2.8, and it still encompasses the downtown higher tax, property tax district than the whole city, which is around 2.2. So Pearl is right over here, and this, just for reference, is the San Antonio Riverwalk. So let's go a little bit closer to the Pearl. So here's where there it is. All the shopping strips, restaurants, a beautiful place. So to live, you could live either in Government Hill, which is right here. A lot of this has changed and very historical homes. If you go a little bit further on Broadway, you have Brackenridge Park, you have a golf course there, the zoo, San Antonio Zoo is right there, Japanese Tea Garden. So you see it's a very diverse part of the downtown area where you can live. The downside is the taxes are a little bit more. So if we look at properties there, and it's more reasonable and more of a value to live in downtown because you're so close in this area. So here we have 110 Haywood, it's 615, 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 2,000 square feet. This one is pending, and it is right in that heart of the downtown district. Now the taxes are still going to be a little bit higher. The fourth area around downtown, we're going to flip it to the south side. So the Pearl is by the north of downtown, the Riverwalk. Now we're going to flip it to Southtown. It's not the south side, it's actually called Southtown. In Southtown, there's really two neighborhoods that I really want to mention. The first one's going to be King William. King William is one of the most beautiful, historical looking neighborhoods in San Antonio. Within King William is Blue Star. Blue Star is an art development. There's great restaurant, there's breweries, there's really easy access to downtown. And the downside of Southtown and King William is the access. So there's really no major highways. There's a very small grocery store that's in the area. It's an H-E-B. It's on Cesar Chavez. The area is so up and coming and so many new developments that it does cause a lot of congestion. Right next to King William, still within Southtown, is called Lavaca. Lavaca is actually the oldest community in San Antonio. The first houses in San Antonio were built in Lavaca. So the city decided to make it a historical neighborhood, and it's just in Southtown, a little bit closer to the east side of Southtown. One of the coolest areas in Lavaca is Essex. It has beautiful wall art, really cool shops. You have small businesses that are up and coming, and it's really been changed and developed over the years. Just for reference, this is the main touristy area of the Riverwalk, and if you go just south of it, which is basically south of Howson Street or south of Cesar Chavez, which is the strip right here, it's going to be Southtown. So here, Southtown, it's very, very historical. This is the King William district that which we talked about, and Lavaca. This is the first neighborhood that was ever developed in San Antonio, and then came the mansions here in the King William district. It's very, very large houses, very unique. We're going to check it out and see what kind of properties we can find here. So the shopping is great here in Southtown. The culture, the food is probably the best out of all the downtown districts. You have a lot of great upcoming restaurants and young businesses that are popping up. So here, if we look at this Gunther and Johnson, the homes are very, very historical, very beautiful homes that we will zoom into and check out. So you have properties on King William Street itself. This one is almost $4 million. And now this is a very historical home, so this is not the average price. Average price point in King William is around 500K, and you see the characteristics of the houses are very similar in their colonial styles, historical families. And if we look for something a little more affordable, look at 600, so 400 Mission Street. This one is 600,000. This is a very good example of a King William home. You have these tin metal roofs. You have all these characteristics of the conditions. These are original floors, probably from the 1930s. And you have a lot of unique features. The door styles are very similar. And there's usually mother-in-law suites that are sold with these King William homes. The benefits of King William is its proximity to everything. The downsides of King William is probably the taxes and the price. And also it's a little bit further from the highways. The fifth area in downtown is called Tobin Hill. So Tobin Hill is directly north of the downtown Riverwalk district. Tobin Hill also has a lot of historical homes, but it's a little closer to being a neighborhood as opposed to just the downtown living. So Tobin Hill is known for its unique Main Street. Main Street has unique bars, restaurants, a lot of nightlife in Tobin Hill. It's definitely something that you should see if you're in the area. So inside Tobin Hill, you have two colleges, Trinity University and San Antonio College. So you have a lot of college type areas. You have really good dining on North St. Mary's. You have a little bit more of an urban living and still really great access to highways. There's really no downsides to that community that I can think of. It's just really unique in its way of the culture down there. So Tobin Hill, if we look and zoom out of San Antonio, here is your Riverwalk, here is the Pearl District, here is Southtown, the airport is way up here. So we're gonna go into Tobin Hill. Now Tobin Hill encompasses this area. You can see that it's very close to hospitals. The San Antonio College is right there, and you have Trinity University, which is right up here. And there's a lot of very unique bars, restaurants, lots of great dining, and in a hospital right in the heart of it. It's right next to also the Pearl, very close walking distance or the scooter ride. And we'll look at some of the values that you can get in Tobin Hill. So Tobin Hill, if we look a little bit closer into it, they start around $325. So it's a little more affordable than it is to live in the Pearl. Or values $325, $330, this one's $300, 3-bedroom, 1-bath. To get a little more space, for $495, you can get a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath on Ashby. So if you look at one of these properties, it's still going to, it has these historical characteristics in Tobin Hill and Southtown, and you have the historical type features in there, and taxes are going to be about the same, about 2.5 or so, can be up to 2.8. This is Trey with the Cavalry Group, broker by Real. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.